Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today we're going to be looking at the KV-85. We've already had a look at the KV-1 and the KV-1S, and this is the next tank after the KV-1S. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that this tank came about in the game was that this used to be the KV-1S, which used to be a tier 6, and it had this turret and this gun, but with the manoeuvrability of the KV-1S. Now, I think a lot of people called it overpowered, and it got nerfed and split into two tanks. So the KV-1S moved down to tier 5 and lost the 122mm gun that this has got, and also lost the turret, which I believe is very similar to the IS turret, but again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyway, let's have a look at the tank itself. So we're looking at very similar armour to the KV-1S. 75mm on the front, 60mm all round on the rest of the tank, and then on the turret you've got 100mm on the front, 90mm for the rest of it, which I think, let's just have a look. So I did sell my KV-1S. Come on, load up, there we go. Let's have a look. KV-1S with the top turret, yeah, it's the same, same hull armour, but the KV-1S has 82 all round on its turret, 30 degrees traverse speed, 28 on the turret. Let's go back and have a look at the KV-85 again. 30 degrees, 28 on the turret. So yeah, there you go. Pretty much the same. View range 340 meters, which is pretty average for, you know, your Russian tanks. They don't have very good view range. 600 horsepower engine again, only 34 kph. Speed limit though, which, to be honest, it's not bad. It does get up there quite quickly, and you know, it does reach that 34 kph. It's not like some of these other tanks where they'll have a speed limit but you'll never reach them unless you're going downhill with a good tailwind. This one, it does do it, and it, you know, it gets up there. The 75mm of armour, yeah, the kind of tanks you can be facing, I mean, you're facing up to tier 8 tanks, they will just get through it. The way to use this tank, I mean, if you're top tier, you can take a beating, especially with some good angling. If you're not top tier, you pop out, you smack them in the face with your 122mm gun, and then you back off again. Let's go into the packages. As you can see there, 3.75 rounds a minute. I've got a tank gun rammer on it and a gun lane drive. I would recommend some vents as well, possibly, or maybe some coated optics to improve your view range. Accuracy, awful, just like you'd expect from a Russian tank. Aiming time, 3.4 seconds, really long aiming time. Penetration, well, it's the 122mm that you will get used to with the Russian tanks. 175 pen, 390 average damage. It's a bloody good gun, it really is. I do like this gun. Now, let's compare it to some of the other tier 6 heavies. Now you've got the KV-2. Can't really compare it to that because that is kind of in a class of its own. Like I say, it's more like artillery with a direct line of sight rather than an actual proper tank. So I've not got any others in my garage at the minute because I've sold them. But let's have a look at the other tier 6s and sort of compare. So you've got the VK-3601, 100mm on the front, 60 on the sides, so, and the rear. So we've got the same side and rear armour as a VK-3601, but that's got 100mm on the front. However, we do have a slight bit of angling on the front, not a lot. The VK-3601 is quite flat. Let's go into it and have a look at the gun though. Well, that gets the 8.8 KWK-36 L56, a lot faster rate of fire, more than double in fact. Penetration is a lot less though, 132 as opposed to 175. Alpha damage 220 as opposed to our 390. Aiming time is a lot less. Accuracy, well, it's not that accurate, but it's a lot more accurate than what we've got. But we do have higher traverse speed. Yeah, higher traverse speed on the turret. They've got 24, we've got 28. We've got 30 degrees on the actual hull. They've got 24. However, they do have a slightly higher view range than us at 370 meters. Let's have a quick look at the British, which I think is the Churchill 7. Well, yeah, 152mm on the front. We know that that's a heavily armoured tank. Very slow though, very poor traverse speeds. let's go in and have a look at your gun, which is your 77mm, 148, 140. So again, way less damage, and again a lot less penetration, but massive rate of fire. That's what the British heavies are. They have a huge rate of fire. I mean, 13.95. That's just ridiculous compared to the Russian one. So let's have a quick look at the Americans. What do they get? Oh, they get the M6, of course. So we're looking again 102mm on the front, a lot more than we've got, but again it's a big flat target, a lot of flat sort of areas on it. Really crappy side and rear armour on the M6 though. Although it's turret 102 on the front, 83 on the sides, not too bad, and it does get that nice 90mm gun at this level. Again, double the rate of fire at least. Penetration is only 10 less, and the damage is 240. So you know, I did like this gun, and again, it's more accurate, slower aiming, lower aiming time, should I say, but it doesn't have the traverse that we have. It has got a bloody good engine though on it, the M6, but we are more manoeuvrable in the KV-85. So let's go back and have a look. You know, I really, that's the KV-2, that's the KV-85. I really do like this tank, and as you can see, I have a mark of excellence on it again. I got my mark of excellence on the last match that I played, which got me enough XP to unlock the KV-13, which isn't going to be in the reviews, but I will mention it because it is an awesome medium tank. It really is. I love it. The only thing that lets it down is the shitty gun depression, which is more or less non-existent. Even though you've got a lot of the front, you've got to remember that the breech of the gun has to go up for every degree that your gun goes down, and the turret is very low. But enough about that. I got enough XP to unlock that. The next tank that I will be reviewing will be the IS. But yeah, I mean, you've gone through the KV-1S. Apart from the top speed being slightly less, it's basically the same hull. The KV-1S does 43, this does 34, but apart from that, the same hull. You want to use this more like a heavy though. But it's not one that you can sit and trade shots because you don't quite have the armour, like I say, when you're in the tier 7 and 8 matches. In those, you pop out, you hit them with your gun, you get back into cover for your reload. Equipment wise, I mean, you can see I've got a tank gun rammer. To be honest, if a tank can have a tank gun rammer, put it on it. I've got a gun lane drive top with that god awful aiming time, and I think I'm probably going to stick some vents on it. My skills, well, the matches that you'll see, I didn't have any of my skills. I've now got repairs and I'm working on Brothers in Arms. The second replay that I've got, the one that allowed me to get enough XP and my mark of excellence to get the KV-13, that's the one that fully trained my repair skill. So enough about having a look at the tank in the garage. I mean, like I say again, you've come from the KV-1S, you know how to angle this thing. You've not quite got the side armour to angle against the tier 7s and 8s because it is only 60mm, but you have against the tier 6s definitely. Use this tank, well, like I say, use it kind of like the KV-1S, like you would in that, you know. Treat it as though you haven't got the armour to get the hits, because that's the best way of surviving, not getting hit. You know, forget your armour, just don't get bloody hit. But again, you've come from the KV-1S, you know about the angling from the KV-1S. Pretty much the same on this tank. It's the same hull, like I say, and it is nice and manoeuvrable, and I do like this tank. I mean, one of the main weak spots on the front, well, apart from obviously your driver's hatch, but it is a small target, and you do have a slight bit of angling around it. Not much though. Your upper glacis has got some good angling on it though, and again, you want to protect your lower glacis. But you've got that commander's hatch on top, which is a bit of a weak spot with this tank. But anyway, enough of talking about it in the garage. Let's have a look at these replays. Right, so here we are. We're on Siegfried line, an encounter battle, and it's a tier 6 match, which is nice. We're not quite at the top of the table. The M6 is up above there, and the VK3601s as well. The reason that I kept looking at that is because the sheer amount of T-34-85s on the opposite team. That's a shining example of the matchmaking working. Yes, it is, honestly. You'd have thought they'd have put some other bloody tanks in there. Although, looking at it, we have got the advantage. Well, I don't know, actually. We've got more heavies, but they've got 4 tank destroyers. Yeah, and 3 artillery in this level, which is not nice. Now, yeah, derp. I was pretty convinced that I could actually get through that point there, but yeah, obviously not. So, encounter battle. I am not being an idiot and completely ignoring the cap, but neither am I rushing for it. I'll let those guys go up there and try and cover it, and I'm going to go into the town and try and do some flanking with these other guys that are going in. See that aiming time? Yeah, I didn't leave that target enough. But that is probably my only gripe with this tank, actually, is that god-awful aiming time. I mean, I've put a gun lane drive on it, you can see it is not very good. And that one, yeah, Russian accuracy again. Went slightly to the left, bounced off the back of his turret. Yeah, forget it. Artie's shooting at me now. Let's get into this town and get out the bloody way. Although I can't resist another shot at him. Yeah, something see me. This, yeah, there we go. I got hit from a T-34-85. Well, there's a shock. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it is. Was that the one? Yeah, I bet it was, you know. There's a few spots there where you can actually shoot through. So I bet it was him that got me. Right. Although I did get that other one, so I'm happy with that. You know, I'll take that. Right, where's he gone? He was creeping around this way. So I'm going to see if I can find him, and hopefully he's going to be on his own. I do not want to take on more than one medium in this on my own, because I will get something. There he is. And he's backing off. And I might be a prime arty target here as well, because depending on where they are, they can actually shoot into this part of the town. They've had me before here. Now, did you see that little flick of his icon? It just flicked off and back on again, which means that he popped off my radar, and I was sat still. So I'll have popped off his radar. And my little detection thing hasn't popped up. He's still looking the wrong way. Oh, an ammo rack. Beautiful. There you go, Pally. That's your high velocity enemy ordered and delivered. Oh shit, now I'm in a bad place. I'm getting shot at from over there. I think I've popped off radar though. Either that or that was a really wide shot. And I think they were taking pot shots at where I was. Artillery. VK3001P. Another artillery. Can I get any of them from here? I don't think I can. But yeah, as I was saying with that T-34-85, just that little flick meant that he popped off my radar and I was sat still. He was still moving. So just as he popped off my radar, he started moving again, so he popped back up. I didn't. And I was far enough away not to pop on him. That's a dodgy shot on that Hummel. Oh, that was lucky. That went wide and just clipped him. But the other artillery's got me. There's an 88 shooting at me. Let's get back into cover. Try and sneak around. Yeah, sorry, got sidetracked again. Yeah, like I say, he popped off my radar and I was sat still, so I popped off his, and because I wasn't close enough to come back on his radar, that allowed me to sneak round behind him, and he was still looking at where he thought I was going to pop out, and I didn't, and I ruined his day. And another arty up there. There were 3 of them. My Pascucci's gone out the window because somebody else got it, and I should have waited. That went wide. Somebody's got to finish him off now. I'll not reload in time. There we go. I think I've only got 1 Pascucci's at the minute, maybe 2. Right, so we were winning slightly, 9-8. It can still go either way, but we've made it up to this flank of theirs where they started. But it looks like us guys up this side are the only ones left. Mind you, no, I'm sure we've got a heavy left. Another T-34-85. Well, there were plenty of them in here. Nice. I'm glad that one hit, because we need to whittle them down. They keep, every time we get one, they get one, so it's 11-10 now. 4 tank destroyers left. I'm pretty sure they're all camping up on that ridge. So let's use the yeah, they are. There's the SU-100. Let's use the wreck of this Hummel as cover. Let's see what we can see. He's disappeared, but he was popping up over that ridge to take a shot. Yeah, it was worth the risk, definitely, and that's just left him on a slither of health. Hey, that was a nice bounce. That was a lucky bounce. I don't think if I'd have wiggled my turret then, that might have actually gone through. So we've got a Hellcat up there as well. Paper thin armour, not much health. In fact, if I hit him, it might be a one-shot kill for this gun if I'm lucky. I can't remember how much health they have. But there's still that SU-100 up there, and there's an 88. They are tough little shits. Yeah, that's not going to penetrate from here. Definitely not. See what I mean about the side scraping? You can do it, your tracks will eat a lot of the shots, but some will go through. Is that SU-100 dead, or has he just popped off my radar? You see, I've switched to APCR. I still don't think I'm going to penetrate from this angle, and now it's, well, now it's a moot point because he's dead. So I'll switch back to armour piercing. 88. Was that another 88? I didn't realise they had two. Should have paid more attention. So there's another 88, and it looks like a Hellcat left. Now there is me over this side on my own. Everybody else has died. And we've got our 3 artillery left over there, and another heavy who has just popped back up on my signal range, because the signal range is crap. Russian radios, they're awful. Well, in this game, you know, it's nothing against Russian radios now. They're probably quite good. But yeah, in this game, the Russian radios are bloody awful. Can I get through here? No. Why not? It looks like I can. And something's gone for base, and I am betting it's that Hellcat because it's fast enough. Yep, there he is. He's just taken a big hit, and another one, and he's dead. So there's just the 88 to deal with, and I've got his back. But it's still, am I going to penetrate from this distance? Yes, I am. Damage his engine. Oh, and it looks like I spotted him, so I get some spotting damage from it as well. Lovely game. Now that game almost got me my mark of excellence. I think it got me to something like 64.8%. But as you can see there, 2,663 damage. First class mastery, steel wall, high caliber, arsonist and demolition expert, which is always nice to get those, especially in the same one. Call me damage, which means that I was the top damage dealer across both teams, and it gave me 1,500. So you can take 1,500 off that, which takes it down to about 2,631, which is still a really good XP score, if I don't say so myself. And there's the detailed results: 11 shots fired, 8 hits. Was that 8 or 6 penetrations? Again, like I've said, my screen resolution when I'm doing the commentaries is not very good. But I'll leave those up, and the next replay we've got coming up, I am not top dog. In fact, I am the very bottom of the table, and it's the match that earned me my mark of excellence. So we'll see that one in a second. So here we are on Himmelsdorf, a very, very tier 7 match. There's not many of us tier 6s in here, sorry. And I am at the bottom of the table. But that doesn't mean that you can't be effective in a KV-85, because it's got the gun for it. You just need to keep the rest of your tank hidden as best you can. Another, is that another KV? No, it's an IS. Another IS, KV-2. Right, I am not going to go for the hill, as a lot of the heavies do. I know there'll be enough people going for that. So I'm going to go down here with this T29 and this Tiger, and I'm going to cover the banana road at underneath the hill. But I'm not going to do it from back here, because you are completely ineffectual. If you let them get too far up this road, there's too many ways they can go. You need to keep them down at that other end of it. And hopefully somebody can cover my right flank. So let's get behind this rubble. Oh, what was that? T29? Yes, it is. Let's get a shot into his lower glacis if I can. Nope, hit his tracks. Tracked him though. Forced him to use a repair kit. I've got KV-3 down here. Spotted another one. I'm getting some good spotting coming down to this place. I can get through the machine gun port. I think I did. I did a good hit on him though. Oh, that KV-2 is just asking for an engine shot. Come on, don't move before I reload. I've got him in his engine. I think I blew his tracks off, but I did not set him on fire, which is what I was hoping for. Come on, reload, reload. KV-3. At this range, you don't even have to wait for it to aim. As long as you know you can penetrate. The circle is big enough. Ooh, that was a nice shot, if and if I do say so myself, on that T-29. That's one down. So we've got an IS down here still to deal with, a KV-3 and something else. I'm not sure what it is. See if I get it through the lower glacis. No, it went through the upper though. It's still penetrated. Is it another KV-3? It is, I think. See, safest spot to shoot on some of these Russian tanks, like the KV-3, is the lower glacis. Yeah, just like that, you see. Nice big hit through it. I've got some backup. Our guys are covering the flank. Where are you going? Yeah, that's a very silly place to stop. Can I get him? Ooh, just. Again, hit his engine, didn't set him on fire, but I blew his tracks off. I don't think I'll get to reload, though, before he moves. So we've still got another KV-3 around here in an IS. Let's see if we can finish him off. Yes, I can. I love this gun. As you can see, it is awesome. And like I say, this was a very, very tier 7 match. So we've got the IS here, who is foolishly shown his back, and that was so close to finishing him off. I think they've just given up, because I am hull down, showing very, very little of my turret, and I've got a T-29 backing me up, and at least a Tiger. Oh, and we had a KV-2 as well, although the Tiger looks like he'd buggered off somewhere. So it was another KV-85, KV-2, and that T-29 backing me up. And we are pounding this enemy team. We are winning 11-2. As you can see on the map though, we've lost the hill, but we won the park. I am so glad that they covered my right flank, well, our right flank, because that can be a problem. If you crumble over there on the western side, sort of down the 1 and the 2 line, they'll come along that, around the D line, down that road by the park, and if you're holding off this road underneath the hill, you are done for. Oh, we are capping, but I am having that guy up there. Bugger it, I am fearless now. I've done a nice bit, excuse me, a nice bit of damage. And one bit of assisting, got some spotting in there, a few criticals. And I don't want them to cap. I want to go and finish off the 3 tanks that are left. What are you doing? Look at them all. Swarming around that cap circle like flies around shit. Get your man pants on, grow some balls, and get in there and finish off these 3 tanks. Like I say, I'm not no cap kill all, but Christ. With what we've got left, we can finish these guys off. Come on! No, not happening.
Mission accomplished.
And there you go. That was the, excuse me again. That was the match that earned me my first mark of excellence on it. First class mastery again. God knows what you've got to do to get an ace tanker. We'll go through the ops, size them up. I think got me, yeah, 25% extra, and call me damage again, 1,500 XP. Again, top damage dealer across both teams in a heavily tier 7 match. 2,839 damage, 1,220 blocked. Do you know what? The turret is quite good actually. It's quite rounded. And again, you angle it, you can block a lot, but there you go. 7 hits received, 5 non-penetration. 9 shots fired, 9 direct hits, 8 penetrations. Forget what I said about Russian accuracy. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed doing it. And I hope you enjoyed the KV-85 as much as I did when you do get to it. I do like that tank, and if it had have had the manoeuvrability of the KV-1S, Christ, I'm not surprised they called it OP. But anyway, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care on that battlefield, and I will catch you next time with the next video tomorrow, hopefully. Goodbye.
afternoon, today's high near 57 degrees. Tonight, more cloud cover with a low extreme.